Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be reviewing the new Tarte Radiant Shape Tape Concealer. Tarte has been making a big fuss online with this new Radiant Shape Tape Concealer launch. They took a whole bunch of mega influencers to an island. Everyone is of course raving about it, and so as soon as it became available on the Tarte website, I had to purchase it in order to review it for you and tell you whether or not it's really that good or if it's just another overhyped makeup product. So that is what we're going to do today. If you're excited for today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. So as I was saying, this concealer is already available on the Tarte website. It retails for $31 and it says it is a medium coverage concealer with a radiant finish. I'm reading here that it says it's formulated with castor oil, squalene, mica, diamond powder, sea buckthorn oil, niacinamide, green tea extract, hydrolyzed collagen, Centella asiatica extract, licorice root extract, prickly pear extract, ginseng root extract, and sodium hyalurate. I was trying to see if the amount of shades this came in was listed somewhere. I just went ahead and counted them on the Tarte website. It looks to me like there's either 35 or 36 shades of this concealer, and I ordered it from Tarte, but it seems that if you order it from QVC you also get a free Tarte sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and link both websites down below in the description box in case anyone's interested in ordering this. You can order it from QVC or from Tarte. So far I'm pretty sure it'll be coming to Ulta very soon. Here's what the packaging of this concealer looks like. It says Tarte Shape Tape Radiant on one side, and then on the other side it says Double Duty Beauty. I got mine in the shade 20B, which is one of the lighter shades. I just feel like I've had this shade in Tarte concealers in the past and it's the one that worked for me, so hopefully it's the one that works for me still. And as you can see, I'm ready to apply this concealer. My eyebrows are done. On my skin, I have the Rare Beauty Blurring Primer, which I absolutely love. I just kind of smoothed that all over my face. And I went ahead and used the Lancome Care and Glow Foundation today. I have two shades of this one because they don't have a 200 neutral shade. So I mixed my two shades, one pump of 310 neutral, two pumps of 120 neutral, and it gives me the perfect foundation color. I blended out my mixture with a sponge, and this is one of my favorite foundations at the moment because it looks very natural on my skin, feels lightweight, it's hydrating, and it has a very natural finish to it. So we're now ready to apply this new Tarte Shape Tape Radiant, and I'll tell you all of my thoughts on it, of course. Well, before I apply it, let me show you what the applicator looks like. It's one of these kind of bigger doe foot applicators, and I feel like that color 20B is going to work for me. This feels really creamy, hydrating. It does look like it has a really nice glowy finish to it. I don't know if I would call that radiant because it's definitely not as radiant as the Charlotte Tilbury one per se, which might be a good thing because I feel like that one's a little too radiant. This one looks a bit more just glowy, a little bit more natural. If you watch my channel often, you might know that I usually prefer thinner textures. This one felt really creamy and really blendable, but it's not a thin texture per se. It's not liquidy. So we'll see if I like it underneath my eyes or not. I'm going to start not applying too much product. I made one big dot on the darkest area underneath my eyes and then a little bit more on the outer part. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend it with a sponge now, starting on the outer part of the under eye and bringing it in, and I'm going to go ahead and connect right down here next. Because it's a creamier concealer texture, I didn't want to add too much right away. So here's what it looks like blended out. It does seem to have a really nice, beautiful medium coverage. You know what? Just because I don't feel like the foundation added a lot of coverage to my cheek right there with the back of my sponge, I'm just going to blend the concealer down a little further to cover the redness on my cheek. And with anything left on my sponge, I'm going to blend it over my eyelid. So far what I can tell you is that I really do love the finish of it. It's a nice glowy finish. It's not too much radiance underneath the eyes. It still looks nice and natural, but it makes your under eyes look nice and hydrated. So this is what one layer of it looks like without a color corrector underneath my eyes. I do have some purpley hues underneath my eyes that I usually like to color correct, But whenever I'm trying a concealer for the very first time, I don't ever use my color corrector because I want to see the coverage of it without the color corrector. So I can tell you right now that with this beautiful medium coverage, if I had my color corrector underneath, it would look stunning. Without the color corrector, I can see a little bit of the darkness coming through, but it still looks very natural. I'm kind of surprised because I've never been a fan of the Shape Tape concealer. The Shape Tape concealer that they've had for years that everybody always obsessed over. It's way too thick and way too drying for my dry skin. I forgot to say, I have dry skin, and this Radiant one seems to kind of be perfection underneath my eyes. So I think what I want to do is just add another dot and blend it out and see if it covers a little bit more, if we can build it up a little bit more. Yeah, that looks nice. It looks bright, it looks glowy, and you can see my under eye a lot less. Okay, so here's what it looks like with the light up, and I'm going to lower the light and show you what it looks like with a bit less light. So check it out. Nice and radiant still. All right, I'm back. As far as creases are concerned, I was just looking at it, and because it has that nice creamy finish to it, it's definitely not staying exactly where I put it. It's creasing a little tiny bit. You can see it right there. But obviously we haven't powdered yet, and so I feel like once we powder, that's not going to be a problem anymore. But this is a concealer that I would always have to powder, which I usually do anyways, but like I'm just telling you in case you don't, because it definitely doesn't stay in place when you blend it out before you powder it. I'm going to use my current powder obsession, which is the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder in 003, which is the rose color, and my REPHR number 18 brush. So I'm just gonna grab a bit of powder from there. I usually like to work it into the brush by pressing it into the cap here. And then very important, before we powder, we gotta blend out any creases that might have happened already. So I'm going over everything with my sponge. And I'm going to press this powder underneath my eyes and also a little bit on top. Okay, so check out the difference, powder versus no powder. This side just looks a bit more smooth. That radiance went away, but also any pores or texture that I might have underneath my eyes is completely gone because the powder just mattified everything, and so it's not bringing attention to that anymore. Same thing over on this side. And I'm also going to set the center of my forehead and around my mouth. So once again, I'm going to lower the light and show you with the light down what things are looking like. Honestly, so far, I absolutely love the way this looks. And it is 12:10 right now. So we're starting the wear test at noon. I'll probably have it for 7 to 8 hours to see what it looks like. I feel like I have dry skin, and concealer, usually if it's going to move or change, it happens within the first couple of hours, and after that it doesn't change anymore. So we'll definitely give it more than enough time to do anything that it might do. I have a hunch that it's going to look like this the whole day, in which case I am very happy with it because this looks nice. For bronzer, I'm going to use Pat McGrath Naked Desire. For blush, I'm going to use the new Juvia's Place blush in Soft Tulip. I'm going to do one teeny tiny dot right there on the back of my hand. And after rubbing it in, I'm picking it up with the Sephora Collection number 47 brush. And with this one, we'll blend it out. Just tapping this color all over my cheek. And I'm going to use my little ColourPop Mushroom Lip Balm on my lips for now. Alright, so this is the makeup look for the moment being. I will be doing my eyes later for a different video, but for now I have some errands to run. I want to see if I can get this piercing changed because it's not healing properly, and I feel like it's because the back of it is like too big. So I want to change the back of it so that maybe it'll finally heal. And I also need some groceries. So I'm going to go ahead and run my errands. I'll be checking in throughout the day. So far, my first impressions on this concealer is that I do really, really love it. If you have dry under eyes like I do, it will work for you. And after I powdered it, there is not a line in sight. It looks wonderful so far. I even really like the coverage of it. This is without a color corrector, and it looks perfect underneath my eyes after I built it up a little bit. So first impressions, 10 out of 10, but we will see how this one wears throughout the day. So I'll see you guys later. All right, it's 3:33. I just looked, I can't show you because I'm recording on my phone, but this is what it looks like after 3.5 hours and me being outside. So as you can see, because it's a more creamy concealer, I feel like when I have thinner concealers on, it doesn't do that. However, it's like minimal. If you look at me from a regular distance, you really can't see anything. But if you look at it really, really close up, I feel like there is just a tiny bit of creasing right there underneath the eyes. However, from like a regular distance, you can't really see it that much. So 3.5 hours in, it's not looking as good as when I first put it on, but it's also not a bad concealer. And I don't have any eyeshadow on, which I feel like usually eyeshadow can sometimes hide some of those creases that happened right there. So once I put eyeshadow on later, I'll show you again. So far so good though, and my piercing mission has completely failed because I guess they're still a little too swollen to change my jewelry, so it is what it is. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. It is 7:58 right now, and I'm back to show you what it looks like after having worn this for almost 8 hours. Take a look right down here. As you can see, it did unfortunately crease a little bit, and because it creased, I feel like it makes the lines underneath my eyes look a little bit deeper. Is it the worst concealer I've ever tried? Absolutely not. I still kind of think it's pretty good, but it's definitely not to die for. You don't need to like run out and get it. It's an okay concealer. If I had to rate it out of 10, I think I would probably give it a 9 because it looks pretty good. But it's not perfect underneath my eyes, especially if you have dry skin like me, especially if you have some lines you don't want shown. So a 9 out of 10 is what I would give it. It also might just be a matter of preference. This is a creamy hydrating concealer. I personally like more lightweight, more liquidy concealers because they tend not to crease on my skin, and this one did crease a little bit. So if you usually go for creamy hydrating concealers, then this might be the perfect concealer for you. As you can see, I did this whole wear test and I never got to doing my eyes, which I will still do, but I'm going to do it after I finish filming this video, and that way you won't see any spoilers for tomorrow's video. So the concealer, a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good, but it's not the best I've tried. It's hydrating, it's creamy. I like the finish of it. The coverage is really good. So as I was saying, if you usually go for hydrating creamy concealers, this might just be perfect for you. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. If you guys like today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.